Good day, good day, good day, people. It is another episode of the Potluck. I want you guys to go ahead and come on in. I'm excited. We have a very good topic to talk about tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about hair. We're going to talk about skin, and we're going to talk about facial reconstruction. So I'm going to give you guys some time to come on in. I know it's a very busy day, and a lot of people have had a lot of things to do, as myself. So we're going to give you some time to come on in. As you guys come in, I will acknowledge you coming in. So we're going to give you just some time to do so. All right, again, this is another episode of the Potluck. Another episode. How are you doing? Sharonda, my sister, has tuned in. She's made this a part of her tradition every Thursday at 7:14. My cousin Deirdre has come in as well. And as you can hear, I have TLC Unpretty playing in the background. Let me know if my audio is good. I know the music is probably a little loud, so I'll turn it down just a little bit. How you doing, Caldwell? Kanisha, how you doing? Am I too close in the camera? Yeah, let me know, Kanisha. Yeah, she's been getting me right. How are you doing? I think my partner at school just tuned in. Renee Caldwell, how you doing? Alrighty, Raynetta, thank you for tuning in. Again, today's topic that we're going to talk about is skin, hair, and facial reconstruction. Watching all the way from Panama, that's what I'm talking about. Live your life like it's golden, because why? It is. We have 19 people already tuned in. I think that's the fastest you guys have ever tuned in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit, because of course I am Warren L. Booker Jr., the host of the Potluck. So the appetizer that we're going to serve today is actually from the lyrics here that's playing in the background, TLC's Unpretty. And it states here, you can buy hair if it won't grow. You can fix your nose if he says so. You can buy all the makeup that Mac can make. But if you can't look inside you, find out who you are to, be in the position to make me feel so unpretty. Again, we're talking about hair. We're talking about facial reconstruction. We're talking about skin. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about that. And of course, as always, I'm going to serve up a Booker kebab. And today the Booker kebab is this. And I'm going to turn the music down now because I'm finished with TLC. How are you doing, Nakisha Rose? Cameron Monk, thank you for tuning in. Mrs. Hatley, thank you for tuning in. Tonight's Booker kebab is love comes from within. You have to love you before you can ever love anyone else. Start loving yourself, and then you can share it. Oftentimes, people try to love someone else, and they don't even know how to love themselves. If you want to see an example, look at God. There's no greater demonstration of love than He. Don't base your self-esteem, and again, your self-esteem on what others think or say about you. It is called self-esteem, not others' esteem. However, it's often said that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. And I promise you, that probably is one of the biggest lies that ever was told. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will definitely hurt. And words will stick. I can think of things from my childhood that people have said to me that still kind of hurt as an adult. But remember this. Anyone that is trying to pull you down is already beneath you. I learned that in a professional development this week. Again, anyone that's trying to pull you down is already beneath you. If you're not beneath me, you can't pull me down. So remember that. So when you have those haters, those naysayers that are telling you that you're not pretty, you can't do what you want to do or what you need to do, remember, I would say look down on them and pray for them. That's the Christian thing to do. And yes, Renee Caldwell, words do hurt. Words hurt, and that's why we have to choose them carefully. Again, there are several people that are just tuned in, and today's topic, we're going to talk about hair, skin, and facial reconstruction. So again, as it relates to hair, I want to talk to you about natural hair. What does that mean? What does good hair mean? What does bad hair mean? There was even a song called Good and Bad Hair, and I will play a little snippet of that from School Days. And I'll let that play in the background for a minute. Now, what I want to hear from you, what is good hair? What does that mean? Because you have waves or because you have curls? Because guess what? A nap is nothing but a tight curl. So if it's a loose curl, does that make it good hair? I've been told by people, especially when I let my hair grow out or get wet, oh, wow, you have good hair. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean because it waves up? What is good hair? What is bad hair? Is bad hair one that has cucka bugs, like they're talking about in the song? Or does it mean because it's a little harder to comb through? I've been told today by a coworker who is also a cosmetologist that any hair is considered to be good hair because you can work with it and manipulate it and make it be whatever you want it to be. So, natural. Now, I've heard several arguments about natural hair. Does it mean that your hair is natural if you just do nothing to it? Meaning well, it's not possible to have healthy hair rather and not put oil in it. But if you put color in it, does it make it unnatural? Or does natural hair just simply means that you have no chemicals? Explain to me what exactly is natural hair. We want to talk about that. What is good hair? What is bad hair? Skin. There are a lot of people who have partaken in all type of skin bleaching. And there are some people that I will show on the screen back here, and I'm quite sure that you guys can relate to as it relates to that. It seems as if we're not happy with our natural selves, and we're always attempting to change who we naturally are as it relates to skin, as it relates to hair. Also, facial reconstruction, y'all. We are going back to the skin. We have bleaching. We have filters. I have seen people like, wow, is that you? Is that you? Because you've put a filter on there that has made you 3 times lighter, has widened your eyes, and Snapchat is notorious for this, and some of those are funny too, don't get me wrong. But when I see what I see in person, or you in person, versus what is on the picture, it's totally different. And I've also noticed, me being in theater, I have lighting here because the way the melanin is set up in the skin, it may be a little bit difficult to see me. But I've even noticed on television how a lot of reality stars, for sure, because I watch a lot of reality TV, they are getting lighter and lighter and blonder and blonder. Now, that may not be correct English, but hey, at the potluck, I can say what I want to say, and you can too. Facial reconstruction. We have a lot of people that are having all types of surgery, nose jobs, fillers, Botox, jaw shaving. There's a show that comes on called Botched, and you would not believe the situations that people have placed themselves in and even risked their lives to change the facial features. So again, we're not satisfied with who we are for some reason. So I'm going to go back to this question. I want someone to answer it for me in your own words. What is good hair? What does that mean? Is it because it's not nappy or kinky? Does that make it good? But yet and still we're happy and we're proud about how we naturally are. And again, this is not just a black thing. We have several people, for example, who I would say that are African American and or black, who bleach their skin. But then you have a white person who wants to get their skin darker and pay a whole lot of money to tan. So again, it's like we're doing a flip-flop and or a switch. So why are we not happy with who we are? We even have people that say they are transracial, meaning I may be white and inside I feel like I'm black, and or I'm black and I feel like I'm white. And then I have seen several attempts where it seems as if individuals are attempting to do so. So again, what is good hair? What is bad hair? Natural hair. What does it mean? I noticed a lot of people with natural hair, and I know I'm probably going to step on some toes, but they do the big chop. And this is just my opinion, y'all. Natural hair is for everyone, I'll say. But cutting all of your hair off is not the solution, in my opinion, for everyone. Most people cut all their hair off, and then you have a little fro, and you put it up in this little ball, and now everyone is walking around with the same little ball. Now, I hope I'm not stepping on any toes, because I shared this with a coworker. She said, well, I have a little ball. But also natural, in my opinion, does not mean that you have to cut your hair off. In my opinion, natural does not mean that you have to be limited. I've actually been told that it's a whole lot more work. It's a whole lot more products, a whole lot more work to keep your natural coils and so on and so forth going on. Okay, so we have one person that say that it would help to know the history of this ingrained bias. And yes, and you bring up a very valid point, Mr. Ladd. That's my mechanic who works on my automotive technician that works on my car. He does a really, really, really good job. But y'all, please tell Mr. Ladd don't break me this time. But no, I'm just joking. He's been good to me. And that is true. Now, it probably goes back even further, because I know there are certain names in the Bible, for example, like Ham means burnt face. And there are several other names that mean certain things. But I'm reminded of a speech that was given by Willie Lynch, where you took a person, a slave, and basically there was a foolproof method that he wanted to instill, meaning you turn the light-skinned slave against a dark-skinned slave. And also, with that being done, the darker-skinned slaves were out in the field, so they had the harder jobs, and also the way the melanin is set up, they also got darker with that. But then you took the lighter-skinned slaves or fair-skinned slaves, and you allowed them to work in the house, and we call them a house. And in this day and time, you still have people making differences because of school colors. I mean, not school colors, because of skin colors. Even at school, I've heard people, oh, that's a light skin joke, or you light skin, at least I'm light skin, you dark skin. But then we say we don't see color. And that's not true. So why? Now that was happening over 400 years ago, but people are made to feel superior because they may be lighter in the African American community. I've heard people tell people, oh, she's real pretty to be a dark skinned girl. What does that mean? What does that mean? And then on the defense or on the other side of a light skinned person, like, oh, they call them white boy, they call them clear, or you need some color. There are some light skinned African American people that also attempt to tan so they can be darker. So I don't know why, but we're not happy with the skin that we're in for some reason. So we have to get rid of that Willie Lynchism. We have to get rid of that. We're in a day and time. We're in 2020. We should be past that, but y'all, we are not. Because a person is lighter skinned does not make it right. And just because you're dark skinned does not make you right or wrong. You are who you are. Man, people are paying money for this melanin that we have in our skin. And it affects more than just skin. It's organs and all of that that is involved. So we're not going to get that deep, and I don't want to just stick right there. So again, people with the hair, women with the hair, and we're going to talk about women for now. They typically say, oh, I'm tired of this. They're going to cut all the hair off and then get a real low haircut and put a little ponytail on top of their head and feel as if some women, again, feel as if they don't have to do with it. Have to do anything with it, but that's not true. You have to comb that. Natural don't mean unkept. Natural don't mean don't do nothing to it. Natural does not mean don't wash it. Natural does not mean have lint and all that in your hair. People know you still have to take care of yourself. You can have an unkept look. And also, there are other options. If a person wants to go natural, be patient. Let it grow out. Let all the perm, whatever you have on your head, grow out, and then you can get a press, y'all. My aunt Estella, aka Bet, I promise you she will press your hair. But if you want a curly, and you still have that option, I can't choose what you want to do with it. However, again, with the guys, and we're doing a little better, We're doing a little better with that. And Deidre says she hate to hear that. But yeah, people say that all the time. You are real pretty, or you have some beautiful dark skin. And I've even been told that some people ask, can I touch it? What do you mean, people? But that just goes with someone being ignorant. Being ignorant. Because we have seen on television, we have seen in ads that, I'm going to say it, white is right. It's better. Shatara Cook stated that some people let the appearance of natural hair fool them. Our hair grows better in a natural state. And I have seen when some women who have they may wear the little ball that I'm talking about, and they straighten it out, silk press or something like that or something, and it's all the way down to their back. And women, you guys have that option. You could throw a unit or a wig on. You can straighten it. You can let it be tightly coiled, and that is beautiful to me. I appreciate that. I like that. And also, it is healthier. Teresa Harper, I see that you tuned in. You're a cosmetologist as well. Give us the science behind that as far as putting maybe chemicals on your head. Also, Shatara Cook stated a person's packed down afro can often straighten down their back. And that is so true. And I've seen it done. It's almost like a miracle as it relates to the hair. Now, I've been told with the natural hair that it's a lot more expensive because there are a lot of products. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of braiding to have a certain curl pattern and so on and so forth. And I've seen a lot of my cousins and friends kind of walking around with the braids in their head trying to get, I guess, like a wavy pattern looking like Miss Celie on The Color Purple. But when they get finished, they rock it hard. Shatara Cook is on here, and I have seen her natural hair, and it's beautiful when she have the tresses loose and the big fro, so on and so forth. So, hey, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. But I know that some people look down on it, and that's rather unfortunate. Again, it's natural. Dreadlocks. There's a situation with the boy not being able to graduate because of dreadlocks. Come on. Why? It's just hair. That doesn't change anything about the brain that's underneath that hair. Shatara Cook said that I'm cheap natural, so it doesn't have to be expensive. And I'm quite sure there are some natural ways in which a person can do anything. And I am that person that want to squeeze the copper out of a penny. So again, is there anyone in here that ever thought of been told, oh, you have some good hair? I want to hear about that experience and exactly what does that mean. I personally believe that you can have natural hair and you don't have to be bald headed. You can have natural hair again and you don't have to be bald headed. It doesn't have to be tightly coiled. It can be straightened. It can be pressed. It can be whatever you want it to be. Also, I think these are called protective styles. And some women put wigs on or they'll go natural or whatever to protect their natural hair. Shatara Cook stated that we were taught that European beauty standard. But I'm loving that I'm seeing more and more women go natural myself, including, I'm assuming she's saying myself included, including herself. And that is so true. We were holding ourselves to a standard of someone else and based on their beauty. Now, someone said, well, I'm tender-headed with mine. So, hey, I've seen some people, and you just barely touched their head. So I get it. So you know yourself. Teresa Harper stated that taking care of your hair is all about cleansing and moisturizing your hair. Any hair can be beautiful. And I definitely do agree with that. So wear your protective styles. Wear your natural hair if that's what you want. If not, I'm not the one to judge. Also, I remember back in the day, women used to be ashamed about weave. Women used to be ashamed about wearing wigs. But now everybody, well, y'all not wearing wigs. Y'all are wearing units. Same thing. But that's like, it's big now. And there's no one that is ashamed of it. I have a student who had a head full of hair. She would often have it braided down. And when we would do workouts, she would just take her wig off and just sit it down on the table. And I know that there are a lot of women that probably go home and snatch that wig off so they can be free. And I don't know how some people do wigs all the time. Strong people. Because me being in theater, I have had to wear a wig a time or two. And it's hot under there. I mean, it's so bad that I'm sweating underneath. So, to each his own, as my mother would say. Also, there's a large amount of money that's spent on hair. And it's sad to say, a lot of it, especially weaves or extensions, as some may call it, is nothing new. Weave is nothing new. And sometimes we try to, I talk down on it. Extensions are nothing new. Other people of other descents call it extensions. We call it weave. However, when you go to the store to buy your bundles or your weave or your extensions, who's owning those stores? Now, we're the biggest consumers, but question, are we owning those stores? If not, that's a problem. If you're the one that's consuming most of it, why are you not owning it? So that's something for us to think about. Shatara Cook stated, I remember the Johnny Taylor wig. Yes, I do too. And that was hilarious and hideous at the same time, simultaneously. So we've talked a little bit about hair. So let's talk about skin. Now, bleaching your skin to be a different color stems back. I already talked about Willie Lynch a little bit. And I actually have a few people, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it very well, but when I think about skin bleaching and changing of a skin color, yes, Asian people are the ones that own those stores. I think about my boy Michael Jackson. Now, we can all remember how he started out with the Jackson 5, and he probably was about my complexion. And then over time, he morphed into a person, which I don't know if we have to call him a race. I don't know what it was. It's almost like he created his own race. Now, Michael Jackson lovers, no offense. But, I like Thriller. I like Beat It. But look at Michael. I don't know if you can see him. But if you look at from where he started to where he ended, it's like those are two different people. Infatigo, I know people Infatigo, but it's never just smooth and all over the face. It's normally a unique pattern or something like that. So I'm not buying that. Some of you guys can. I am not buying that. Renee Caldwell, she's coming up next. Shatara Cook stated that, okay, I'm off break now. Okay. And I don't know about skin, but I hear that the Gold Bond Radiance Renewal is good. Okay, so that's a tip out there. How are you doing, Mr. Reams? Thank you for tuning in. So we have Michael Jackson, who we know not only transformed from what we consider African American to just a color that we don't know of. And someone, Renee Caldwell, stated that he looks like a napkin. And then Lakeisha Rose stated that he had vitiligo. That's what I was told. But everyone that I've seen with vitiligo had a unique pattern. And it just wasn't like that. And I already know that he wasn't happy with himself because he changed his nose and so on and so forth and just morphed into this person, this whispering person. Still yet talented, and I am still a Michael fan. But he's not alone. Lil Kim, another person. When I see this person talking, I don't know who this person is. She's had so much fillers and Botox and has totally changed her color. She has gone from basically what I would know as an African-American person to a white woman. And I'll be honest about that. And again, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. And of course, your opinion may be different. If you have a different opinion, please share that with me. So we have Michael Jackson. We have Lil Kim, who is totally morphed from the person that we once knew when she came out doing the squat in her bathing suit to this person now. I even watched her reality show, and it's like she could barely talk because she has so much work. And it's crazy. Her and Michael kind of look alike. A lot of people have a lot of plastic surgery. They begin to look alike. But why is that? Because we've been told that how we are naturally is not beautiful. However, on the flip side, you have others who are wanting to be what we're trying to get rid of naturally. So is it that we as humans are not satisfied with who we naturally are? Like we always want what's on the other side? Could that possibly be it? Because naturally, I know someone say, don't drink that. I want to know why I don't want to drink that. Or like the grass is green on the other side, or blondes have more fun. But I've been told about that grass. It might be green on the other side, but that light bill is really, really high. So you have to be mindful of those things. Renetta Humphreys Kyle stated that some of hers was from domestic abuse, Reconstruction. Okay. So I just wish that he wouldn't have done that, so she could have not be swollen and act like she can't talk like that. But I'm not gonna make fun of someone's condition. But I know some of that was just her bleaching her skin because evidently she was not happy with her skin complexion or her tone. Renee Caldwell stated that some people wear blonde hair to look lighter, and it does make you lighter too. And again, if a person wants to wear blonde hair, wear your blonde hair. But it's not my business. But I do want to know why. Are you doing it because you like it? Or are you doing it because you feel like white is right? Or are you doing it because blondes hair more fun? I mean, I have color in my hair. It's not a blonde, but I did it simply because I wanted to. I want to do something different. So there's no judgment passed here. Now, Sammy Sosa, I'm going to move out the way. And I don't know if you guys can see it real good. But when you look here, here, and here, you would not believe that this is the same person. You would not believe he started here to here to here. He's pretty much has gone from who he was originally to clear almost. And I want to know why. I mean, and do they not think people are not going to notice those differences? And Renetta stated that, I don't know why I can't talk today, that Reconstruction is addictive. Just like tattoos are kind of addictive. You start one, next thing you know, you'll be like me and end up with 7. Because you're constantly thinking, okay, I can do this, I can change this, I can add that. So the people that we talked about as it relates to skin, starting with Michael Jackson, we have Little Kim, who basically have morphed from what we consider to be a person that looks African American or Dominican, or someone of a darker skin tone or brown skin tone, to someone that is lighter. Also, we've been told, again, by television, on magazines, we've been told that this is beauty. There have been doll tests that have been done where you'll take an African-American little girl and you'll give her a white and a black doll, and she asks which one is prettier, which one is the prettiest, and she always chooses the one who is Caucasian and or lighter. Why? Because that's who we see on television. Now, I thank God that is kind of changing some, because you see a lot of African-American and darker people who are in higher positions and on television and successful and are models. So that kind of changes it. I've even been told that with some of the African-American sororities that you had to pass a paper bag test. If you put a paper bag up to your face and you were not lighter than that, then you cannot be a part of that organization. That's a part of that self-hate. That's a part of that Willie Lynch-ism, as I call it. Also, I'm reminded of The Imitation of Life, that movie where she could pass. Now, there were some people who were lighter and they could pass. My partner Renee Caldwell and I had our students last week to do Black History African American projects, and some of the people honestly did look like they were white, but of course they were mixed. In that instance with the slave masters, so on and so forth, but they could pass. Just like Sarah Jane Johnson in Imitation of Life, and I just like to say her name like that because that's what her mom would say. Sarah Jane Johnson. She could pass, and she was passing, and she treated her mother very wrong because she no longer wanted her mother to, front her out or to be known in public because she could pass. It was a better life. And at the end, her mother ended up dying, and then she was really hurt. But guess what? It was too late then. It was too late. So don't let that be your situation. Stop telling people that you're pretty to be a dark girl. What does that mean? If they're pretty, they're pretty. You don't tell an orange, you're orange to be orange. It makes no sense. So let's stop doing that. And again, we have people who are tanning so that they can become darker. So it's like we're flipping, we're switching. Lighter people want to be darker people want to be lighter. So people who are naturally blonde want their hair black, and people whose hairs are naturally black, they want it to be blonde. And again, I mean, you can do what you want to do, but these are just some things. I'm always concerned as to why when people are doing things, why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Is it because of self-hate? Also, when you look at the television and you look in the music industry, again, look at Michael Jackson, look at Little Kim. You think about the filters that you use when you take your selfies. Are you using filters that make you look lighter? Are you enhancing light to make yourself look lighter? Are you finding good light so you can look lighter, or are you just doing it because you want to make sure that you have good light when you take your selfies? Also, another thing with women, we're not necessarily talking about makeup, but I've noticed a lot of people, and it doesn't look good on pictures, and it may look good on TV, I don't know, but they're using this highlighter and contouring or whatever, and it's like they're basically Caucasian right here, and African American around here. And help me out if I'm wrong, people, because I'm not sure. I think it's called, I think contouring is to make your nose smaller, your cheeks, but it's highlighting or something. Like when they put all this light stuff or gold looking stuff right around this area. And again, to me, that's another form of whitewashing. Whitewashing. Turn to your neighbor and say, whitewashing, and let's stop it. Be proud about who you are. Teresa Harper said that black people have to be taught to love themselves, to love each other, and even to accept each other. And we have to love one another. But again, as I stated earlier, you have to love yourself. It starts with you. You have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And again, it's called self-esteem, not others' esteem. So you have to make sure that you love yourself and not base your love for yourself on the responses from other people. So you have to make sure that you do that. And again, all these things are called whitewash. I have some more people that are in the background. Now, there's a lady named Rachel who's behind me. I think she was into politics, and she stated that she was transracial, meaning she's a white woman, but she feels as if she's black inside. Yeah. Also, there's another lady who was, I think she was a British lady, I believe. But she was a white woman with big breasts. You probably can see that. But she wanted to be black. So she actually went through procedures and would wear makeup and have surgical procedures done so she could be darker. So again, there's another person who was orange. And I've seen some other orange people walking around here. And I also have seen some people who are of Caucasian descent. And they tan a whole lot. Even risking skin cancer so they can be darker. Yet and still, you say that you hate it? You treat me bad because of my dark skin, but yet and still you tried to recreate it. And I'm not the smartest person. But I do know that you can't want to be something and hate it. So guess what? You envy it. Also, with Rachel, going back to her, that was an NAACP fiasco. And a lot of people, I'm quite sure, that they remember that. So moving on to the facial reconstruction, people are having nose jobs. And speaking of some people, I know Nene Leakes. She's one that comes to mind. There was a guy on that show, something with a D, I think. He had his nose done where he pretty much could not breathe. We know Michael Jackson had his nose done. And again, our nose are naturally wide. I think it is beautiful. I love my wide nose. But some people feel as if it's not. And they end up with a nose like this. And they can't talk and they can't breathe. It makes no sense. Be happy with what God has given you. Kevin Hunt said that it's a self-love mindset. And it starts here. You have to love yourself. Before you can do that. Like TLC, you can buy your hair if it won't grow. And that's cool. Some people hair just don't grow. If that's what you want. But my main thing is, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you hate yourself? Or are you doing it because you want to just change your look up? I like changing looks the most I can, or the best I can, being a male, because sometimes, just become mundane. But I'm not changing my facial structure. I'm not doing things where you don't even recognize me. I'm not bleaching my skin. Again, some people, if you're not happy with it, do what you have to do, but don't risk your life. I always tell people, I'm brown right here and I'm black around here, so I'm two-tone. I'm naturally contoured. And I remember being on the set, and this lady was actually one of Bill Clinton's makeup artists, and she really, really had to work on me because she was like, "You're two different colors. You're one color here, and you're another color around here," and that is true. But hey, I am cool with it. I'm cool with being black and brown. People are jaw shaving. They're getting facelifts. There are also some other people. Let's go through the other people. We have this lady who is trying. She turned herself black. We have Spice from Love and Hip Hop. Y'all, I love my Ratchet TV. I love it. And she actually came up with a name for it, calling Black Hypocrisy. We're around here saying, I'm proud to be black. Go black people. We're putting the fist up. We're wearing dashikis, but yet and still we're doing everything to not be black. We're doing everything not to be black. So it's like, you're being a hypocrite. It's black hypocrisy. And during these episodes, and as you see, she's a dark-skinned lady, and then she put on the blonde hair. She had all of her skin painted with makeup or paint or whatever, and she converted herself to a white woman to prove a point. And of course, it's been told life is better. People treat you different. People treat you better. And that's sad that in 2020, years after slavery, we still have that mindset. And we are still going through those things that people fought and died for that could be changed. Lisa Rinna. Now, this is a white lady, or a lady who's non-African American, and you can see she started one way with her lips, and then they got bigger, and then they got bigger. And there are some people that get so many lip injections or implants that it's like their lips are about to pop open. But again, people are paying for thick lips or bigger lips, and we have them naturally, but we are changing them, or we hate them. There was one lady who told me that her grandfather, I believe, hurt her feeling so bad as a young girl and told her never to wear red lipstick again, in which she has nice lips. And because he was saying don't wear the red lipstick because it makes your lips look too big. But again, people are paying to have those big lips, and we hate them, or we don't feel good about them. Again, people, we have to love who we are. We're individuals. And again, I'll say it time and time again, you can only be you. Why? Because everyone else is taken. Don't be a fake. Don't be a fraud. Be you. You are created in God's image. So what message are we sending? And again, I'm not saying don't wear wigs, don't change your hair. I'm not saying that. But to me, when you go to the extreme of getting surgeries and you're changing your jaw structure and getting this shade and getting this cut, and it's not only black and white. There are Asian people who are getting their eyes lifted so they can be bigger because their eyes are naturally slanted. Again, we're not happy with who we are. And why do you guys think that? I know we've talked about the Willie Lynch syndrome and how it was drilled in. And I know that television oftentimes shows us or hold us to a European standard. But yet and still, we're held to a lot of standards. And we don't necessarily do them. So why do you feel as if we are doing these things? I want to hear from you. Because, again, it seems as if everyone is not happy with who they naturally are. And why are we wanting to make those changes? Why is it looked upon? Why is it a bad thing that if I'm naturally wearing my hair in the natural way that it is? Why? Why is it a bad thing? Or if I'm naturally dark, why do I have to bleach it? Why do I have to change things to make that better or acceptable to society? And again, y'all, in the industry, I'm not all the way in, but I have been on some sets. And I know that there are some agents who will not or do not represent individuals with dreads. Or a person who is of a darker descent or skin tone may not get as many jobs as others. Now, again, I do see that changing. But why is that? I am who I am. You want to cater, or you want to everyone to be reached. So, and again, since I'm kind of off topic, but I'm on topic. I have had the great privilege to do several commercials, and I have seen where there may be 2 or 3 commercials done, but it's the same one. There's one with a black individual, there's one with a Hispanic individual, and then there may be one with a white individual to target certain areas. I've even noticed in Walmarts, you go to a Walmart where there's predominantly white individuals, you're not going to find a whole bunch of Cantu products and African American products and wave grease. They cater to the environment. They do a needs assessment, I guess, to see what the needs are in that particular area. So want to hear back from you. Y'all are kind of quiet tonight. I appreciate each one tuning in. I guess I did have a lot to say, but let's just talk about this. Why are we not happy with our hair? Why are we not happy with our skin? Why do we go to such lengths to change what's naturally, how we naturally are? Kylie Jenner is another person who has pumped up her lips. How are you doing, Miss Terry? Thanks for tuning in. Lenny Patrick, thank you for tuning in all the way from Eudora, Arkansas. Old St. James has tuned in. Charlotte, Ellen Rove, Moya Lee, my good friend, my best friend, Summer. Thank you for tuning in. Why are we not happy with this? Or why are we still in this day and time saying, oh, you have good hair? Oh, that's bad hair. I got the N-word hair. Why are we still doing that? Why are we still doing it? We're passing that along. We're passing that along. So we talked about Kylie Jenner. Of course, she had lip implants. We have Lisa Rinna, who basically has gone from what I would say were nice lips to swollen lips. True definition of duck lips. We have Spice, who pointed out black hypocrisy, saying that we're told we should have black pride and be proud to be black, but we are doing everything to change that. And also media and the television tells us that our black is not beautiful. So it starts at home. It starts at home. You have to tell your queen and your king that you are beautiful. You are perfect the way that God made you. Stop telling little girls you're a pretty little dark girl or your black self. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. That doesn't make a person feel good. And then we have the lady who was white and tried to turn black, or she turned black. We have the NAACP fiasco, as Teresa called it. And she stated that she was trans black. Crazy. And then we have Sammy Sosa, who totally has almost came from the lower end of the color spectrum to the lighter end. We have Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim, who is totally transformed from Lil' Kim to Kimberly, if you will. We have Michael Jackson, who totally transformed right before our eyes. And that doesn't take anything from his talent, but that was definitely a transformation. So again, tonight, we've talked about hair. We've talked about natural hair. We've talked about good and bad hair. We listened to a song about good and bad hair. Randy Coleman said that it stems from generational curses. And again, when you're told generation after generation you're not good enough, or this is not okay, or you have to do like this, you have to dress like this. It's just recently that I've seen a lot of people have pride in wearing like an African dashiki. I remember me as a kid not wanting any parts of that. My dad was wearing dashikis and whole African suits to the mall and everywhere, and I was ashamed. I would not lie. Teresa Harper stated here, our race has been programmed to believe negativity about ourselves. We tear ourselves down instead of encouraging. I cannot read tonight. Let me start over. I know I went to the modular building and took reading, but dang, I can read. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Teresa Harper stated that our race has been programmed to believe negativity about ourselves. We tear ourselves down instead of encouraging each individual to love themselves. And that is so true. We have to love ourselves. Again, it starts here. It starts here with us. Like TLC said, you can buy your hair if it won't grow. You can fix your nose if he says so. You can buy all the makeup that Mac can make. But if you cannot look inside you, find out who I am to, be in the position to make me feel so unpretty. So again, it starts with you. Love your hair, love your skin, love your face that is given. However, if you want to alter it, do it. But I just noticed on reality television with a lot of African Americans, y'all, we seem to be getting whitewashed, and the white ones are getting blackwashed. They're getting thick lips. They're adding butts. They're getting thighs. They're widening their noses. They're getting black hairstyles, if you will, and we're getting blonder and blonder, and we're taking our noses in. We're wanting to get smaller lips. We're holding our mouths a certain way so our lips will be smaller. So it's almost like we're doing a switch. And just think about it. Next time that you watch reality television, notice how many women that you'll see in blonde wigs. Notice that. And notice how when they do their confessionals, how they seem to be getting lighter and lighter. Pay attention to it. You may have never paid attention to it, but just pay attention to that. But again, people, we have to be proud of who we are. We have to be proud about the skin that we're in. Not just because of Black history. Not just because of that, but because God made us in his image, and he made us how he wanted us to be. Teresa Harper also stated that self-hate started in slavery. It was a way of control. However, how else did 50 slaves act in obedience to 5 slaves' masters? And that's true. That's so true. Just like the prison. Of course, you have one guard to probably every 50 inmates. And again, they hold it down. So we have to get rid of self-hate. We have to build one another up. We have to treat ourselves like the kings and the queens that we are. Stop the negativity. Stop telling people you got good hair. Stop trying to be whitewashed. Stop telling little girls that, ooh, you black. I don't know. I don't want that little black girl or look at your little black self. We have to stop that. There are other people on the other side who want that melanin. Even with the organ harvesting, melanin affects your organs. That's why they're harvesting a lot of people of color, even with that, y'all. So again, what we have is good. We have people who are wanting to get what we have. They're paying a whole lot of money to do it, but we hate it. They want the bigger lips. They want the thicker hips. They want the wider noses. They want the type of hair that we have. And then we do the reverse. So we have to change that. We have to change that. And for your dessert tonight, of course, I've given you the appetizer twice. And I know some people came in late. So I'm going to reiterate my Booker kebab. And then I'm going to give us our dessert. And if you guys don't have anything else to say, then we'll end this live. Because I think it is 8 o'clock rather. Okay, so the Booker kebab for tonight is love comes from within. You have to love you. You have to love you before you can love anyone else. Sometimes we're trying to love someone else and we don't love ourselves. You have to start with loving yourself. If you don't have an example, maybe your mom or your dad don't show you love, your family doesn't show you love, look at God. There's no greater love than He. Don't base your self-esteem on what others say. Again, it is called self-esteem for a reason. Self-esteem. I have to feel good about myself. I have to love myself. It's not called others' esteem. Again, we have to love ourselves. And of course, we have the cliche that says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. And that is a lie sent from the bottomless pits of hell. However, we cannot let the things that people say to us get us stuck or stop us from thriving. Again, love yourself. And those things that those people say to you will not affect you. It may hurt for a minute. It may hurt for a minute. I'm not going to say that because words can cut. Words can hurt. So that's why I wish that cliche would go away. But I mean, it hasn't. But remember, if you love yourself, then you can't let anyone else take that away. Also, remember, anyone that's trying to pull you down. So you're talking about my hair. You're talking about my skin. You're trying to pull me down. And guess what? In order for someone to pull you down, they have to be beneath you. So again, look down at them and pray for them. They have to be beneath you in order to pull you down. Think about that, people. I'm so thankful that I ran across that bit of information in a PD. We have another comment that states, Moya stated, that's the biggest lie I ever told, and I do agree. Summer LeGrand Pridgeon stated that I am darker skinned and it can come across offensive when people say you are pretty to be a dark skinned girl. And it's very offensive. However, I am so glad my mom made sure I knew that I was beautiful. And again, and people say that and they think that they are giving you a compliment. And I just thought about it. I think in my trailer, I had Gabrielle Sidibe, better known as Precious. They even attempted to whitewash her. And that's really, really sad. How are you doing, Aaron? Thanks for tuning in. So again, we have to stop that. Stop telling people, even and not just one-sided. Again, stop telling people, are you cool to be a white person? What does that mean? What is acting black? What does that mean? What is acting white? And we're not going to get on grammar. Someone has kind of thrown it out there to me. And I'm not an English teacher. And I'm quite sure I have some double negatives and broken verbs, so on and so forth. So we'll save that for another time. However, I will end, if there's nothing else, with our dessert. And it is whitewashing the pump won't make the water pure. And basically what I'm saying, just because you may whitewash this, you may commit black hypocrisy, it doesn't change who you are on the inside. So what good is it for people to accept you and then they find out that you're not worthy or you're just this nasty, vile gutter snipe straight up out the hood? And those are the words from Ayan Levinson. Moya Jackson stated that I've been guilty of saying she's cute for a dark or light-skinned girl. I don't do that anymore. I hate hearing you are cute for a big girl. And that's another thing. Yeah, body shaming. Body shaming. People say it all the time, oh, she is a pretty big girl. Like, is she not supposed to be pretty because she's big? Come on, people. Again, be proud about the skin that you're in. And again, we can change that. I mean, I have a few pounds that I could lose, and I can change that. But I would like to think, hey, I'm going to rock this 211 pounds with pride. And then when I get down to my desired 180, I'm going to rock that hard too. So again, but I love myself. And it hadn't always been that way. I suffered from low self-esteem on up to probably about the 9th grade. It mainly stemmed from school, being teased and being bullied. But at home, I was like the star. But at school, I was like in a shell up until 9th grade until I joined the junior high band of Pride, under the direction of Mr. Darryl McPhail. And that's when people started, I feel like, to notice me. And my self-esteem soared from that point. Some of the grown stated that words hurt and will make me sometimes act out depending on what state of mind I am in. But I always let the person know, if you come for me, come correct, because you may not like my comeback. Yeah, I think Kenya Moore stated, don't come for me unless I send for you. Because again, you can say certain things to people, and I'm sorry, their reaction may not be what you expected. Again, I've heard people say, "Oh, your skin is pretty. Can I touch it?" Like you're a dog. Or, "Oh, is that your hair? Can I touch it? What does it feel like?" Hair. And again, if you don't have a relationship with that person, then you definitely should not be carrying out in such a manner. So again, people, we talked about hair, natural, good, bad. What does that mean? Skin, bleaching, filters, lighting. So when you get ready to take that next selfie, are you doing things to make yourself darker? Are you doing things to lighten yourself? If so, why are you doing it? When you get that next hairstyle, are you doing it? Are you putting blonde in because you want to appear another race? Why are you doing those things? Again, because whitewashing the pump won't make the water pure. So if you are a person who has small lips, that may be a Caucasian person. I'm not saying all Caucasian people have small lips. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you just want fuller lips because you want to kiss better? Or are you doing it because you want to appear to be of another race? African Americans, are you getting your nose job done? Are you lighting your skin or putting a blonde wig on because you want to appear to be another race? Why? Why are you doing it? Because people, we have to love ourselves. Love starts from within. We have to break away from all of these things that have told us that we are not good enough and we're not beautiful enough. We have to start loving ourselves. And we have to start spewing these things out of our mouths. It starts with kids. It starts with them. And again, and we start at an early age, as if, like Summer stated, that her mom, my godmother, always told her that she was beautiful. So she didn't need validation from anyone else. But again, even that can be questioned when you look on television and you don't see anyone that looks like you. And again, that is changing. Or when you look in a magazine, you see the most beautiful person in the world doesn't look like you, or they are similar to you, but they happen to be of lighter skin. What are you saying? I want to be beautiful. I want to be on a magazine, but can I not because of my skin color? Can I not be a certain role because I'm not the right color, or I'm too dark? So we have to rid ourselves of all of that. So again, people, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, since I have your attention, and I just released earlier, this Saturday I had a open mic night scheduled at 7:00. However, that had to be canceled due to some conditions beyond my control. However, it has been rescheduled for March the 21st, which is a Saturday, right before spring break. So I'm hoping that you guys can tune out and see the talent that we have lined up for you. Again, I hated to have to do that, but I always have to present quality entertainment with a meaning, purpose, and message. And due to the conditions that have occurred currently, I cannot be able to do that. Therefore, I will not. Because I am really big on my brand. And again, I only want people to experience quality. So if you know of anyone who was planning on coming, or if you were planning on coming, please make other arrangements. You have a couple of days to make those changes. And again, join us on March the 21st. people, if there's nothing else, I will end our potluck episode for tonight. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you like, tag, and share. Also, I don't have it on tonight, but if you would like a potluck shirt, you're more than welcome to go to www.ywarrenent.webs.com. Again, that's www.ywarrenent.webs.com. ywarrenent.webs.com to purchase it. And of course, we'll get those shipped out to you. There's more to come. And if you just feel so generous and you want to sow a seed into the potluck and the things that I am planning to do with this, you're more than welcome to do so. My Cash App is $Warren L. Booker Jr. Again, that's $Warren L. Booker Jr. And that's just JR. And thank you so much for tuning in. And again, this is on the beginning. I want to get a set. We're gonna invite some guests on here shortly. Also, there is a web series that I've written that that's also entitled The Potluck, and again, it's dealing with several issues at one time. So I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for each of you. Please like, tag, and share this and send it out to everyone that you know. All of those friends that are on your friends list, send it out, because we have to have these conversations. There have been some great people that have tuned in, friends, former teachers, servicemen, a few doctors, lawyers. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, we have to have these conversations, and that's why I love the potluck, because whatever's brought to the table, we're going to talk about it, and it may not all be just about one thing. We're going to talk about several things. So again, thank you for tuning in, and be sure to like, tag, and share.